Hi there, and welcome to West Kentucky Academic Bowl. I'm your host, Jeremy Krug, and we're on the campus of West Kentucky Community and Technical College in Paducah with two teams who've made it to the semifinals of the 2024 Academic Bowl. They'll be playing a game of quick recall where two teams from across the region will compete for their share of $11,000 in scholarship cash. On today's show, we have Calloway County High School taking on McCracken County High School. Let's meet our contestants. We'll start with Calloway County. First, we have Audrey Neighbor, who plays the guitar. Next, we have Nathaniel Fowler, who plays the bassoon. Next, we have Amber Wu, who plays tennis. And finally, we have Connor Pyle, who likes to hunt. The Calloway County team is coached by Erica Gray and Lane Springer. On the opposing team, we have McCracken County High School. Playing for McCracken, we have Garrett Greenwell, who plays golf, Owen Cody, who plays piano. Next, we have Cole Cannon, who plays the flute. And finally, Eden Bridge Hayes, who plays the flute. And McCracken County is coached by Tammy Bohannon. We're going to play the first half. I'll ask 30 questions. When you answer a toss-up question correctly, you'll earn the right to a bonus question. Let's get started with our first toss-up. Assuming there are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch, convert 20 inches to centimeters.
50.8.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, too, going to McCracken. He was the first African-American to serve as president of the Harvard Law Review. He married Michelle Robinson, a young lawyer, in 1992. Name this Illinois senator who was elected president in 2008.
Barack Obama.
That is correct. Here's toss-up 3. In the Sophocles play Ajax, the title character exhibited this specific flaw by refusing Athena's divine help.
Calloway, Aubrey.
Hubris.
That is correct. Here's bonus 4 to Calloway. In this portion of the cell cycle, paired chromosomes attach to individual spindle fibers. The homologous pairs then line up along the cell's equator. Name this phase of both mitosis and meiosis.
Metaphase.
That's correct. Point for Calloway. Toss-up 5. This architectural feature usually supports a building's exterior wall at a point of stress.
McCracken, Owen.
Flying buttress.
Judge.
Incorrect.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. It is a reinforced projecting wall that opposes a building's outward thrust. Give the name for this kind of support, which in Gothic structures was often flying.
Calloway, Nathaniel.
Buttress.
That is correct. Here is your bonus 6 for Calloway. This tempo encompasses music between 168 and 177 beats per minute. What is this second fastest tempo, whose name is Italian for quick?
It's presto. Presto.
What's the fastest?
Presto.
Presto is correct. Here's toss-up 7. Consider the functions f of x equals 4x squared minus 8, and g of x equals the cube root of the quantity x plus 15 closed quantity. Calculate the value of f of g of 12.
McCracken, Garrett.
28.
That is correct. McCracken. Here's bonus 8. These protein filaments in the cell resist stretching and form high tensile cables closely related to the intermediate filaments of the cytoskeleton. Because of its structure, this matrix protects nuclear contents from mechanical stress. Give the name of this structural web first visualized by electron microscope as a fibrous matrix on the inside of the nuclear membrane.
What do you say?
Spindle.
That's incorrect. Calloway.
No answer.
The answer is nuclear lamina. Toss-up 9. This man was considered by Sigmund Freud to be the heir to his new science of psychoanalysis.
McCracken, Owen.
Carl Jung.
That is correct. McCracken, you have a point. And here's bonus 10. This medieval bishop of St. Asaph attributed Leicester's founding to King Lear, who divided his kingdom between two ungrateful daughters. His Vita Merlini drew from stories about a Celtic madman with prophetic gifts. Who introduced King Arthur into European literature with his History of the Kings of Britain?
Geoffrey of Monmouth.
Geoffrey of Monmouth.
That is correct, McCracken. We'll go ahead and check the score here at this point. And looks like we have a score of McCracken County 5, Calloway County 4. Let's continue with toss-up 11. This hilltop Belvedere's symmetrical floor plan was based on the Pantheon's architecture. Located in Vicenza, it has 4 facades surrounding a...
Calloway Common.
The Rotunda.
That is correct. Here's your bonus 12 going to Calloway. Consider the polynomial 3x squared minus 23x minus 8. If this polynomial is written as the product of two binomial factors, what are those factors?
I got it, doesn't it?
I just need Amber.
3x plus 1 and x minus 8.
That is correct. Here's toss-up 13. Before the human genome was sequenced by the Human Genome Project, scientists expected to find around 100,000 genes instead of the 24,000 they actually found. Through careful examination, it was determined that one particular mechanism works to reorganize messenger RNA prior to translation in order to provide much more genetic variability. Name this mechanism, which allows the body to rearrange exons of RNA into newer, more diverse strands.
Calloway Amber.
Splicing.
Incorrect.
McCracken Gary.
Crossing over.
No, the answer is alternative splicing. Toss-up 14. After this Supreme Court decision, the state of Florida retired the faulty machines that had led to...
McCracken Owen.
Bush v. Gore.
That is correct.
Good job.
McCracken, here's bonus 15. In earlier versions of this epic, Ea may have played a greater role than he does in the tablets found in an Assyrian library. At its climax, Marduk slays Tiamat and fashions the universe from her body parts. What is this Babylonian creation epic?
Disney Eden.
Enuma Elish.
That is correct. Point for McCracken. Here's toss-up 16. Convert the base 10 number 63 to base 2.
Calloway Amber.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
That is incorrect.
McCracken Gary.
1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
That is correct. Left off one on the first answer there. Here's your bonus, number 17, going to McCracken. In this act, Congress planned to organize two territories under the principle of popular sovereignty. It brought on chaos and bloodshed as opposing sides fought to ensure or prevent slavery there. What was this 1854 act that led to what was then called Bleeding Kansas?
Kansas-Nebraska Act.
That is correct. Point for McCracken. Toss-up 18. Single-cell organisms depend on it for reproduction. It is also responsible for promoting growth in complex organisms. Name this process by which a single cell splits.
Calloway Common.
Binary fission.
That is incorrect. I'll continue. Name this process by which a single cell splits into two identical cells.
McCracken Cole.
Cytokinesis.
Oh, the answer is mitosis. Mitosis. Toss-up 19. The historical figure with this name once shot the heel off a man's foot, but his tall tail counterpart shot a whiskey cup off the top of his friend's head. Legend paints him as a king of the river who could outwit farmers and traders and ride dangerous bulls. Name this a keelboatman.
Calloway Aubrey.
Mike Fink.
That is correct. Mike Fink is correct. Here's your bonus 20 going to Calloway. This artist delved into mythology with his paintings Pallas and the Centaur and Mars and Venus. He celebrated spring in La Primavera, but is better remembered for a scene centering on a Roman goddess. Identify the Renaissance artist of The Birth of Venus.
Botticelli.
That's correct. Point for Calloway. We'll check the score here. At this point, looks like McCracken County is leading Calloway by a score of 9-8. Let's continue with toss-up 21. How many real roots exist for the function f of x equals x squared minus 4?
McCracken Gary.
2.
That is correct. Here's bonus 22 to McCracken. The objective of this NASA mission, launched in August 2018, was the first of its kind. En route to its objective, the probe was to reach speeds not reached before. What is the objective of the Parker Solar Probe?
Go to Andromeda.
To the sun.
Yeah, I said that.
To go to the sun.
That is correct.
Good job, Cole.
Toss-up 23. These associations developed during medieval times and included the skilled craftsman.
McCracken Owen.
Guild.
That is correct. Here's bonus 24 to McCracken. Like the short story, this literary genre is fictional. It is generally written in prose and is often one of the longest literary forms. What is this kind of book? Examples of which are A Tale of Two Cities and A Wrinkle in Time.
Novel.
That is correct. Toss-up 25. This Baroque artist showed the moments after Delilah cut the title man's hair in his painting The Blinding of Samson. He turned to New Testament sources for the storm on the Sea of Galilee.
Calloway Connor.
Rembrandt.
That is correct. Rembrandt is right. Bonus 26 goes to Calloway. This man directed the Vienna Court Opera before moving to New York, where he conducted the Metropolitan Opera and the New York Philharmonic. He bridged Romanticism and modernism in works like Resurrection Symphony and Song of the Earth. Who was this composer of Symphony of 1000?
Mahler.
That is correct. It was Mahler. Toss-up 27. The function f is defined as f of x equals log base 8 of the quantity x plus 17, closed quantity. As an ordered pair, find the x-intercept of the function.
McCracken Garrett.
Negative 17, 0.
That's incorrect. I'll continue. As an ordered pair, find the x-intercept of the function f.
Calloway Amber.
Negative 16, 0.
That is correct. A bonus going to Calloway. 28. This framework can be visually examined using a Di Finetti diagram, and deviation from it can be mathematically tested using a chi-square statistic. Assumptions for this ecological framework include infinitely large population size, random mating, and diploid organisms. What is this ecological phenomenon that allows for estimation of allele frequencies based on genotype frequencies and vice versa?
No answer.
Incorrect. Huh? McCracken?
Isn't it Cole?
Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium.
It is Hardy-Weinberg. That's correct. Toss-up 29. This economic term is named for the theorist who first identified the status-seeking model of conspicuous consumption in the 1899 work.
McCracken Owen.
Veblen Goods.
That is correct. It is Veblen Goods. And bonus 30 from McCracken. This playwright of the Cloak and Dagger comedy Don Gil of the Green Stockings focused on social manners in The Bashful Man in the Palace. His time in a Catholic order inspired the theological paradoxes of his tragedy The Doubted Damned. Identify this creator of Don Juan in The Seducer of Seville.
De Molina.
De Molina.
That is correct.
Job eaten.
And we're at the end of the first half, and we'll check the score. It looks like McCracken County is leading Calloway County by a score of 16-11. We're going to take a short break for halftime. We'll be right back. Welcome back to West Kentucky Academic Bowl. We're right in the middle of an exciting semifinal match where currently McCracken County is leading Calloway County by a score of 16-11. We're going to go ahead and start the second half. Let's begin with the first toss-up. This performer voiced Gabi in Rio 2 and Fifi in the Peanuts movie. She earned a Tony Award for her performance as Sally Brown in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, but is best remembered for the role she originated opposite Idina Menzel. Name this original portrayer of Glinda in Wicked.
Calloway Aubrey.
Chinowit.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, too, going to Calloway. These members of the phylum Mollusca inhabit all of the Earth's major seas, as well as a few freshwater areas. They have gills and a muscular foot, and include the mussel, scallop, oyster, and clam. What are these invertebrates whose name hints that their bodies have two shells hinged together?
Isn't it Connor?
Bivalves.
That is correct. It is bivalves. Here's toss-up 3. This fictional group is based on a real family who escaped their homeland before the Anschluss of 1938. The 7 children learn music and receive maternal love.
Calloway Nathaniel.
The Von Trapp family?
That is correct. It is Von Trapp. Here's bonus 4 going to Calloway. This Greek is honored for the ethical standards found in writings attributed to him. His name is attached to a well-known medical guide of conduct. Name this Greek who is traditionally considered the father of medicine.
Hippocrates.
That is correct. Toss-up 5. This Greek root can precede genic, electric, therapy, or synthesis. Perhaps most famously,
McCracken Garrett.
Photo.
that is correct. It's photo. Here's your bonus 6, McCracken. Originally, this word was the opposite of sonata, a work meant to be sung rather than played. Bach wrote examples nicknamed for peasants, hunting, and coffee. What is this work that today a church might perform at Easter or Christmas?
Cantata.
That is correct. It is cantata. Toss-up 7. Angle A lies in the second quadrant. Suppose the sine of angle A equals 13 over 15. As a fraction in simplest radical form, compute the cosine of angle A.
McCracken. Player 5.
What is?
Okay. We're going to take a little break because we've had a little bit of a buzzer malfunction. We're going to Be right back after this. Welcome back to West Kentucky Academic Bowl. We've fixed the buzzer issue, and we're going to continue with toss-up number 7. Convert 210 degrees to radians.
Time.
The answer is 7 pi over 6. Here's toss-up number 8. When diagrammed, reactions of this type will have curves characterized by positive delta H. Examples of physical process.
McCracken cold.
Endothermic.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, number 9, going to McCracken County. Because of the shape carved through it by a major river, this city is sometimes called Crescent City. That river's flooding has been responsible for great destruction, such as the flooding of the lower 9th Ward in 2005. What American city, located on the delta of the Mississippi River, has levees rising 20 to 27 feet above sea level to protect it from flooding during hurricanes?
New Orleans.
That is correct. Here's toss-up number 10. This play's title character is an ancient British king who hopes to marry his daughter Imogene to her brother Cloten. Instead,
McCracken Eden.
Cymbeline.
that is correct.
Job.
Bonus 11 going to McCracken as well. Let f of x equal 2x minus 4 and g of x equals negative 3x minus 1. Evaluate f of g of negative 1.
0. Is it?
I got 4.
I got 0. I got 0.
0.
That is correct.
I got 7.
Toss up 12. This character instructs her adopted nephew, don't put your feet up there, don't scrunch up like that, and don't gap and stretch like that. Despite her obsessive piety, she owns a slave but sets Jim free in her will. Who is this sister of the widow Douglas in Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn?
Calloway Aubrey.
Miss Polly.
Incorrect.
Time.
That's time. The answer is Miss Watson. Toss up 13. This city, which is off limits to non-Muslims, is home to the Kaaba in the Great Mosque.
McCracken Owen.
Mecca.
That is correct. It is Mecca. Bonus 14 going to McCracken. This Egyptian pharaoh was first regent for the young king Thutmose III. Name this pharaoh whose foreign policy was based on trade and who gained full power despite being a woman.
Hatshepsut.
That is correct. It is Hatshepsut. Toss up 15. This was first found in the transistors that powered your parents' pocket radios. It is an assembly of electronic components that today might contain hundreds of thousands of transistors on a single platform. What do we call such a microelectronic circuit as those found in our phones, computers, and so much more?
McCracken Garrett.
Processor?
Incorrect.
Time.
That's time. The answer is integrated circuit. We'll check the score here at after 15 questions. We have McCracken County in the lead over Calloway County by a score of 24 to 15. Let's go on to toss up 16. This musical is set in 200 BC on a street in front of Lycus's, Senex's, and Erroneus's houses. As its opening number, Comedy Tonight suggests it is based on plays by the Roman dramatist Plautus.
McCracken Owen.
A funny thing happened on the way to the forum.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, 17 going to McCracken. Multiple answers required. A function f is defined by the equation f of x equals the quantity x plus 4, close quantity, times the quantity 3x minus 5, close quantity, squared, times the quantity 2x minus 3, close quantity. Identify and give the multiplicity of the zero of f at which f bounces off the x-axis.
Disney Garrett.
5/3 with multiplicity 2.
That is correct. Here's toss-up 18. Although its name derives from the Greek word for copper, this group, number 16 on the periodic table,
McCracken Cole.
Chalcogens.
that is correct. Here's your bonus, 19. Because the construction, completion, and improvement of this structure occurred under a single dynasty of emperors, it is sometimes called the Flavian Amphitheater. Despite being nearly 2,000 years old, it remains the largest standing structure of its kind on Earth. What is this landmark of the city of Rome, which was once home to famous gladiatorial games?
Colosseum.
That is correct. Toss up 20. This friend of Philip Freneau was George Washington's army chaplain. His verse dramas, The Death of General Montgomery at the Siege of Quebec and the Battle of Bunker's Hill, drew on his Revolutionary War experiences. Name this author of the first novel about post-Revolutionary War life in the American frontier, Modern Chivalry.
McCracken Eden.
Breckenridge.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, 21. Rename the exponent a to the 3/8 power in radical form.
Designating.
Disney Garrett.
8th root of a cubed.
That is correct. Toss up, 22. These four-ringed organic compounds include natural substances like bile acids and sex hormones and synthetic creations.
McCracken Cole.
Steroids.
That is correct. Here's bonus 23 going to McCracken. This engraving may have been inspired by the 23rd Psalm or by the philosophies of Erasmus. Originally titled The Rider, it is often placed under the Master Engraving heading, along with St. Jerome in his study and the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. What is this work in which an armored warrior rides his horse past a demon by Albrecht Dürer?
Night, Death, and the Devil.
That is correct. Toss up, 24. This French adjective derives from the Italian word grotto, meaning a cave or cavern. In its most specific sense, it refers to decoration that combines scrolls and foliage with animal and human figures. What is this synonym of bizarre, which refers to anything fantastically ugly or absurd?
McCracken Owen.
Grotesque.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, 25. This French phrase describes an economic and political philosophy that was supported by Adam Smith and John Stuart Mill. It is French for the phrase allowed to do. What is this phrase that names a policy of minimum governmental interference in economic affairs?
Laissez-faire.
That is correct. Point for McCracken. Toss up, 26. Contemporary performers of this moderate tempo dance in triple meter, may wear empire dresses, cavalry uniforms, or contunch jackets. A one-time warrior's dance, it became a formal march for Henry of Anjou's coronation in 1573. Identify this dance, whose name is French for Polish.
McCracken Owen.
Polonaise.
That is correct. Here's your bonus, 27, going to McCracken. A function f of x is defined as x squared minus 5x plus 84. If g of x is defined as the function generated by reflecting f of x over the y-axis, find an equation for g of x.
Just designating.
Disney Garrett.
X squared plus 5x plus 84.
That is correct. Toss up, 28. It is sometimes known as Amonton's law, and it extends the law of combining volumes. It can be mathematically expressed as P over T equals K.
McCracken Cole.
Charles Law.
Incorrect. I'll continue. Identify this law that relates the pressure of a gas to its temperature at constant volume.
Calloway Connor.
Wells.
Incorrect. It is a Gay-Lussac's law. Toss up, 29. Prior to the introduction of this invention in Europe, literacy rates were very
McCracken Owen.
Printing press.
incorrect. I'll continue. Prior to the introduction of this invention in Europe, literacy rates were very low, and books were a luxury available only to the wealthy. Though this technology existed in China for centuries prior, it made a significant impact in Europe. When it was first used to mass-produce Bibles. Name this innovation in printing technology typically attributed to Johann Gutenberg.
Calloway Nathaniel.
Gutenberg printing press.
No, we were looking for the more general term movable type on this question. And toss up, 30. This member of the Decadent movement wrote prose poems that inspired Mallarmé, Rimbaud, and Verlaine. He translated Edgar Allan Poe's writings into French, but his original work in Paris Spleen appeared posthumously. Who was this 19th century poet of The Flowers of Evil?
McCracken Eden.
Baudelaire.
That is correct. It was Baudelaire. And that's the last question of the match. So we're going to check the score here. It looks like McCracken County has defeated Calloway County by a score of 37-15. So congratulations to McCracken County. You have just won $2,500 in scholarship cash, and you've just advanced to the final round of West Kentucky Academic Bowl, where you'll get a chance to raise that value to $5,500. Now, Calloway County, congratulations for making it this far. You are going to win $1,000 for making it to the semifinals. And congratulations to both teams for participating, and thank you at home for watching as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see all of you next time on West Kentucky Academic Bowl.